Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of iCast, your freaking awesome replays. Today, we are going to be looking at games from the Ruthless Growth Challenge. We've got Uncut Jim in the top right side. Well done, internet. Great name, Jim. We're just going to call him Jim. And down here in the bottom left, we've got Imaru Damu. I'm Maru Damu? N-A? I'm going to go with Imaru Damu because of the way it's capitalized. Imaru Damu. It is going to be a TVT match. Now, with this challenge, players have to expand every single time they attack. Or actually, it's the opposite of that. Every time you expand, you need to go for an attack, is the way it works. So if you want to take an expansion, you have to attack. Now, I don't know which one of these players sent the replay in. I'm going in blind. So we'll figure out as we go which one is actually doing the challenge and which one is an unsuspecting ladder opponent. The one thing I'm very happy about is TVT, a matchup a lot of people complain about. They're like, no, TVT is boring. And don't get me wrong, it kind of has been quite a bit recently, and I blame a guy whose name is actually, in this guy's name, Maru. Maru has just got incredible late game, really good defensive play, obsessed with Ravens, and basically the style he's been playing, unfortunately, very influential because he's the best Terran in the world. Really defensive, turtly, very slow style. It's not very exciting to watch. And very frustrating for a lot of players to play against on the ladder. But if one of these players has to attack even to get an expansion up and then attack again to get a third up, it should naturally force this to be a more active game, which I guarantee you guys, you don't have to play like Maru. You don't have to, feel like you can't kill people like that. A lot of people, they're like, oh no, I have to like, turtle to 5 bases in TVT. There's no way to break a defensive player. And I'm like, that's definitely not the case. And I know that because I've died to a lot of 1 and 2 base all-ins in TVT, and yeah, I know I'm not the only one either. There's a lot of those dirty builds that come out. So Imaru Damu has already failed the challenge. This player clearly did not send the replay in because SCV Scout does not count as an attack. Command Center is going down. It's a 1-Rax expand, so very conservative opening. Up against what appears to be a very quick factory and reactor on the barracks. So Uncut, we're just going to call you Jim. It's gonna get me. You guys in the comments share the most surprisingly humorous names you've come across recently on the ladder. I always talk about Tag, you're pregnant. I don't know why that name just makes me giggle so much, but I just really feel like in terms of bizarre superhero powers, that's up there. The ability, you just like 6 years old in the playground, you're like, Tag, you're it. Haha, Tag, you're pregnant. And then the kid's just, oh, I'm fucking pregnant. And then bam, they just like spurt a baby out of their chest. I don't know why it's coming out of their chest, kind of like a face hugger, but a xenomorph or something, like out of Aliens. But hey, it is what it is. We're gonna have to see that aggression. So Uncut Jim, damn it, just call him Jim Pig. Come on, you could do this. So Jim's going Vikings, Tanks, Marines. That's a pretty good early aggression, right? Use the Vikings to spot, get some tank sieged up, try to bust through. The tech is so much later for Imaru Damu that he's going to have a tough time defending unless he can like maybe pull all the SCVs and get out there. That's probably the best way to defend this sort of attack is if you can see it coming, you get all your Marines, like 10, 15 SCVs, you just jump on top before the tank sieged up. But of course, there's no vision. Imaru Damu sitting in this corner of the map, doesn't see anything. The bunker makes you feel safe, but that will go down pretty quickly to a siege tank unless you repair it. The barracks. Oh, is the barracks coming across the map? No. Okay, the barracks does land there. Starport's going to go in the reactor, allowing double Viking production. And look at this. Jim, following the challenge like a boss, moves down to take the expansion and is going to hit 400 minerals, building a Liberator right now as well. Oh, very cool. Liberator, Tank, Marine. And look at that. Command Center. As goes in for the attack. Perfect timing. Jim here already feeling like, okay, my expansion's so late. I have to get that economy up. Nice unload on the Marines, but oh, they take a big splashy, and the Viking does tank the Cyclone lock-on, which is actually quite effective, and it survives on 15 hit points. The SCVs go for the siege tank. Oh, but they don't quite take it out. Oh, no. Okay, Imaru might just be dead right here. This is a very scary attack. The tank moves forward, but the SCVs are coming. I told you guys the SCVs are what can defend this. The tank, it gets drilled down by those 3 SCVs. SCVs trying to hold on. A few Marines popped out from Imaru Damu as well. Imaru Damu says, taste my drill, dickhead. Jim is going to take out a lot of SCVs. His attack is held, but not before 17 workers go down. That is absolutely massive damage. Jim also gets the Reaper kill there, but he's... Oh, run! Jim, run! Run! Oh, the tank will go down. Gets 2 more Marines. Not super worth it, but... Oh, it's all a distraction. The Liberator's coming in right now as well. Oh, no! There's not much that shoots up. Only a few Marines. The Liberator could do massive damage. Jim with relentless aggression here says, Turtle TVT, boring TVT. Heck no, Pigger. Pigger? Piggers? I've got you back. Piggo? I think I'd prefer Piggo. If you guys are gonna abbreviate my name, Piggles or Piggo are acceptable. I think I'm okay with that. I don't know about Piggers. Piggers? Piggo? Piggles? Anyways. Pazza? Pizza? No, that just sounds kind of weird. Sounds like you're talking about pissing or something. Anyways, I don't think this is game over. That command center is still only now morphing into an orbital for Jim. So Jim is what, down 7 workers, but with double SCV production, building Ravens, building better long-term units, and a Liberator counterattack, could do really well. Another Liberator comes in for the harassed Marines in nearby. How quickly is Imaru gonna respond? Ooh, this could be a nasty siege up. Already down 6 workers. Every SCV that goes down here is absolutely crucial. Imaru, react. Okay, I think he's gonna go for the auto turret to respond to this. The Marines do move down. The Liberator gets pushed back. Meanwhile, counter Liberator goes in as well. Ooh, okay, that Liberator gets 6 kills. Now, no doubt we are going to get that comment during this game. Why aren't the worker kills popping up on the side of the screen? Pig, use a professional overlay like what he does. Don't worry, guys. That can only ever be used if you host a custom game on it. So if you're not casting a tournament map, if you're casting a ladder map, there is no way to have that tool pop up. I don't know why I'm so defensive about this, man. I've been reading too many YouTube comments lately, haven't I? Started to get affected, like, Ping, your production sucks. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? You're observing? I'm sorry, I'll stop poking the bear. Liberator does get pulled back for Jim. He can repair that. He's still up 4 SCVs, but great macro for Imaru, building a 3rd command center in line with Jim's. And I think this is going to even out pretty much. So Imaru going for tank, going for Raven, building more Marines there. He's going to try and recover on up. And Jim has got, I mean, you've got a few libs repairing. You've got some Vikings. Now, he's going to take the 3rd, but you're not attacking right now. You know what, guys? I'll allow it. The game's already been incredibly messy. As long as he attacks within the next minute, okay? 6:55. He better be getting over there before 8 minutes, okay? Come on, go, Jim. You're the one following the challenge. You're our only hope. Okay, I think he's realized. He's like, oh, crap, I'm not meant to expand unless I'm attacking. And there we go. He does queue up the Viking lib. So he's going to send 3 Vikings, 2 libs down the left side of the map. Now, a lot of people ask me, like, Pig, isn't that disqualified? What the hell, man? Just keep in mind, you never need to be too strict. If you guys are trying to follow the challenge, I know StarCraft's an overwhelming game. Sometimes you just do things out of habit. If you like bend a challenge, you're a little off. As long as the game is still exciting, it may get picked. And that's always what I tell Eon Blue, who helps sort these replays for me. We're always like, look, if a challenge gets bent a little bit, it's not the end of the world. As long as it seems like you're honestly trying to play the challenge as best you can, and you do get bonus points. Because the more stricter you're following it, right? You can't just barely follow it and then expect your games to get submitted. We get a lot of games submitted that don't even follow the challenge. Nothing to do with the challenge every single week. People are like, but it was a fun game. You said you can bend the challenge. I'm like, yeah, you weren't even trying though, dude. Anyway, Liberator goes down, but the Cyclone takes a kill itself at the same time. And triple auto turret gets that Liberator, pushes those Vikings out. Jim comes in with a very creative attack, does get a little bit of damage, but does ultimately get defended. However, he's got his 3rd base down behind it. Jim, 8 workers ahead on Imaru Damu. We've got Stim on the way now. Imaru Damu adding more barracks, so it's going to be, 4 barracks at once. I love it. Batching up your tasks to do them all at once, queuing up more SCVs, dropping mules. Meanwhile, Jim here is going for a 2nd starport. Oh my lord, 1 factory. So it's barracks, factory, starport into 2nd starport. And we're going double armory. And for some reason, vehicle weapons, even though you're going an air focus. I could be a little critical of that. I think it should probably be ship weapons if you're going 2 starport. And he's building mostly Vikings and just tanks off 1 factory. I like that the tanks are in a very defensive stance. They're not really covering the front of the base, but they at least cover part of it from the high ground. And it's very hard to get rid of these siege tanks because they are defended by the cliff. 3rd command center does go down here. It looks like Imaru's starting to put some good vision out. Depot spotters on the edge. Oh, this is some advanced stuff right here. Okay, unfortunately for Imaru, that tank plus this depot being raised does trap the tanks in the base. And once that reactor's up, that's going to block the tanks. All you need to do is lower that depot, dude. Just lower the depot. All you need to do. Oh my god, he's trying to figure out how to get his tanks out of his base. It's going to go all the way around here. Oh my lord, this is so awkward. So tanks are popping out here and having to drive like that to get out. Oh, just lower the depot. Oh, you guys know how much I just get triggered by people. I would say 80% of Terran players leave their depots up like half the time. The worst is when that one's lowered and this one's raised. And everything that's going in and out of the base has to go on this like crazy S shape. And I'm like, my lord, how does that not trigger your OCD? I guess people probably aren't paying attention. They're a little bit overwhelmed playing a game like StarCraft. So Here we go. Air Army on the right. Better Air Army for Jim, but definitely can't beat the Marines. Oh, the armies are kind of going past each other. The Liberator tank Viking is going to get on top of these tanks. He does lose his own tank, does Jim, but meanwhile almost gets a Raven, not quite. The armies not turning around at all. These guys are crazy. What the hell? Neither one of them turns around at all. Zero respect. Imaru's not paying attention. Neither is Jim. They're both going to lose expansions here. They're just like, yeah, screw it. Let's go for a bit of a basey tradey. Liberator sieges up on the base. The Marines are right there, but the Liberator's getting ignored. The Marines are going after the Vikings right now. Okay, they will get rid of that Liberator, thank the Lord, but the Vikings landing on the high ground like absolute chads. Meanwhile, the command center goes down, getting some damage done over there. The Marines stim. They should be able to just deal with this as they pop out, but man, Vikings are better than I thought. The Marines, they don't have combat shields or 1-1 yet, and so the Vikings actually do crazy damage. More Vikings landed on the natural, starting to burn out the depots. Another command center does get lifted, not killed, but this is a big army. That tank does get 1-2, gets a third shot off, no, loses vision because of the refinery going down. Imaru using an interference matrix and another one to move forward. Great play by Imaru. The Raven does go down though, accidentally moves that high energy Raven in. But I don't know if it matters. As long as he gets rid of these siege tanks, Vikings can clear the Liberators. Imaru's going to come out way on top here, even though Imaru's down in SCVs. Wait. Imaru still hasn't dealt with the Vikings. The SCVs are just standing there. They're not repairing. The tank comes down. It dies. It kills a Viking. But dude, he's going to lose his command center. Oh my god, Imaru's so focused on the other side of the map, where admittedly he's doing good damage, but look at that one hero siege tank on the back. Looks like it might just barely hold on. The Vikings are getting overwhelmed. Meanwhile, command center, can the command center survive? It's down to 28 hit points. Keep an eye on its hit points here. Meanwhile, Imaru's breaching the ramp, but no, Jim wins the tank fight. And oh, the SCV's mass repaired just at time. Imaru defends at home, still has a tank on the front. Well, not for very long, because Jim is going to use this triple Starfort Viking production to get rid of that siege tank. And he saved all of his SCVs. 50 workers on one base right here. Oh my lord, that is sick. I can't believe it, dude. So he's actually saved 1, 2, 3 command centers, 50 workers. Somehow Jim is still ahead on the workers. And Maru's coming over with another Marine attack though. If he could get a bunch of these workers, that'd be big. Oh, he misses it. I think this was a mistake. I don't think he meant the Marines to be here. But if he actually stimmed in, he could have killed a lot of workers and done a massive amount of damage. Anyways, at home, 5 barracks, all on reactors, 2 factories on tech labs. That's great production. Starport as well. Definitely both players need to desperately take 4th bases because their mains and their naturals will be mining out. But Jim doing a surprising job of weathering a very chaotic situation, and I am massively impressed. I've completely forgotten about the challenge, guys, because it's kind of like, I guess Jim, if we think about it, he was taking that 4th as he was attacking down the right side of the map. Maybe he took the 4th a little bit early. I don't care. I'm allowing it because he's keeping the aggressive focus and he's keeping this game chaotic. And Imaru's kind of doing the same thing in that he's actually been doing some vicious counterattacks. He's going to take a 4th. We've got a second factory coming up here for Jim. Jim has got 1-1-1 upgrades, by the way, up against the 1-1 of the bio player. And we've got 3 more barracks coming in. So Imaru building some crazy production. I think Imaru probably needs a 5th command center if he really wants to maintain that, just because that's down to half mining. And this base will be down to half mining in about maybe 1 minute's time as well. And it looks like he's going to scan across the map is Imaru. Okay, not a bad idea. He sees, okay, doesn't see too much. We've got, what do we have over here? Oh, a little Viking Lib tank push from Jim. He's going to find this base. He sends the Lib out ahead of the army. The army moves left though. Imaru barely misses the Liberator. That is a bit of an issue for him. He's going to dodge that. Oh, the Liberator doing very well. The Viking comes down, but it actually misses it. So I think he's looking for the rest of the army up here. That's where his vision is right now. He will catch these 2 Vikings, but that is a big stim. And actually, he doesn't even get the Vikings. Meanwhile, the Liberator's tearing it up. Ooh, Jim is actually causing a lot of damage. He has what appears to be a way worse army. This is a much scarier army for Imaru. The Viking finally comes over here, but only after that Liberator has 12 kills. And there's another army of Viking tank Hellion moving down the right. These guys are wasting way too much time. There's no army at home, guys. Jim has a tank on the high ground, or actually he's got 3 tanks. Hopefully he doesn't forget about those. This command center is undefended though. Meanwhile, Hellions are diving into the natural. Marines stim down to deal with it. The Hellions try to focus the SCVs. The Vikings land. There is a tank on the right side as well that should cover to here. That tank's going to be able to start firing on these SCVs, getting some big shots off. Ooh, this is actually surprising what Jim's able to do with just a handful of units. He does take out a bunch of these guys still doing damage. This army needs to continue in. I think Imaru's worried that he's going to be stimming into tanks. Little does he realize just how wide open Jim is. Now he sees it, and Jim's natural is completely forfeit. That is going to get destroyed. The SCVs on that base almost all going to go down, as will the command center, and indeed every SCV dies. But the Vikings are still landed in the natural. Both players losing their naturals, but they've got 4th bases up and 5th bases potentially going up as well for Jim on the right side. Those Marines go a bit too far forward on the ramp, and as they move an inch forward, they will take some tank shots and get taken out. That does get held. Jim still having a forward position on the other side. And Maru doesn't have anything there to deal with it. This game is actually lit. I don't know if this is Masters, Diamond, GM. I'm going to guess it's like Diamond 1, Masters 2, maybe? I don't even know. I don't care. All I know is this is a really bloody fun game. Tank on the right side. Will it get any more shots off? No, it won't. Looks like those Vikings got cleaned up, but more of them are moving into the main. They're going to land there. Oh, Amaru! You got to chase it, dude! Amaru! I'm trying to control his units out of panic. That's how excited I am as a caster. I'm just like, defend! Defend your economy! But he's distracted. His tanks are trying to stop these units, but they breach down the ramp. The Lib Siege up. That is massive damage. And dude, what do we got? 38 workers have died for Jim. 91 for Imaru. Imaru desperately needs to hold down that SCV key. Imaru does have 4 command centers. I think if Imaru just rallies SCVs, keeps building them, can still recover here. Only being down 14 workers when you've got this many command centers is not that bad. But Jim has command centers all down the right side of the map, and that is a big boon, even though he lost the natural expand. We've still got 8 tanks, 3 libs, 6 Vikings, 6 Hellions, so a cute army. I say cute because it's not really rock solid. Imaru's army of heavy Marine Marauder is a little bit more well-rounded. We've got +2 vehicle weapons and +2 ship weapons as well, so the Liberator's going to do a lot of damage, as are those siege tanks. Tank's getting a really nice position here for Jim, and his tank's starting to siege up in a really brutal area, but the Libs aren't really facing in the right direction, and some of the tanks aren't sieged. Oh, these Liberators not really doing much. The Bio just stims forward and annihilates. And that was not a good push for Jim. Imaru getting the fight that he needed to get back in this game. Imaru doing very well. I know there's someone out there who's like, it's Imaru Pig. I'm sorry, guys. It's just one of those things. I'm not saying I'm Maru every time I'm saying the dude's name. Your name must be one consecutive sound. That's how it works, man. I'm not Pig. Pig. You can't call someone Dar. It's not how it goes. Same way you're not allowed to be 2 words in your name. Now I'm going to think of pro players' names that are actually more than one name. Shh. Anyways, long story short, it's best when it's one word, the Korean style. Innovation, hurricane. You know, one of those ones is always great. Stats. Okay, ooh, missile turret's going to take out those medevacs. This tank here is an absolute hero. That tank is going to do so much damage to all this bio. The Vikings going to clean up the medevacs. Are they going to land? Oh my god, dude. I'm loving it. By the way, I should have mentioned it. He made servos ages ago in this game. That's why the Viking lands have actually been so sick. Normally, Vikings are so cumbersome landing and taking off, but they're taking, I think it's only 1 second when you've got the transformation servos. Maybe it's even less than a second. So they just land and take off so quickly. Dude, I wish I could find the clip of when they were trying that upgrade out. I remember playing the PTR, the balance test server. And when they first brought out the transformation servos, the smart servos upgrade, it was so funny because they always over-tweaked things when they were adding new things to StarCraft to kind of see how strong it is, and then they'd scale it back. But they wanted to make sure people were using it a lot so they could get as much testing as possible. So it was like almost instant for both Hellbats, Vikings, Thors. So I remember just getting this upgrade and just like getting in someone's base and just landing Vikings, and it would be like, so jump into the air, jump down, and it was almost instant, and it just looked like the game was breaking. It looked like a character glitching out a wall in Skyrim or something. Like, it was just so silly. And I remember just like Hellbats just morphing into cars and then back into Hellbat form instantly. It was like you were watching a Transformers movie on fast forward. I do miss those days. Wouldn't mind some more super broken stuff getting introduced to the game for just a few weeks for testing, just to see how powerful it is. But anyways, tanks are going to siege, and once again, a good position. Nice move by Imaru, though. Imaru's like, you have a minimum shooting range. Oh, they do drop a bit too far away from that tank. Gets one shot off. Meanwhile, landed Vikings again. You can see just how quickly they land. The moment they get space to land, it's just... well, he's going to leave? Imaru's going to leave. What? Oh my god. He wasn't even dead. Imaru was just frustrated. I think, oh, that drop tried to go up there, and the Hellions and the tanks killed it, and was just frustrated. These Viking lands were just driving him crazy. Up to 107 workers lost. And I guess, I don't know if, did he realize about these corner bases? He didn't know. There actually were bases going up all down the right side, as well as this one there. Uncut. Jim had about a 20 supply lead, a little in army, a little in economy. This game still could have gone either way, but I think what we see there is just the tilt factor where Imaru probably felt like they were being trolled from start to finish. It's just like, there's Vikings coming in from the side, and they just keep coming and coming, coming. Just absolutely lost his mind. Big thank you, though, guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed that game. Don't forget to send in your replays for the upcoming ICYFAR challenge, which is, of course, blood sacrifice. 1 unit must die at least every minute of the game. Info's down below in the description. Big thanks to everyone who's been supporting on Patreon. If you guys enjoy more videos like this, give a click on some of the other ones around the screen. And a special thanks, of course, to the conductors of the D-Town Express, Colonel SE, Jacob G, and Modern Totem. See you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.